Every legend starts as an underdog. In the concrete jungle of North Memphis, a kid named Mario Mims, who the world would one day call Yo Gotti, was caught between survival and ambition. He grew up in Ridgecrest Apartments, where the stakes were high, the temptations endless, and the exit doors few. But what he didn't know was that his grind, his setbacks, and his relentless vision would place him on a hero's path. A journey that transformed him from hustling CDs out of the trunk of his car into building one of hip-hop's most powerful empires. And along the way, Yo Gotti uncovered principles that can turn any grind, no matter how small it looks in the beginning, into a kingdom. This is his story, the call to adventure. Yo Gotti's story begins in the heart of North Memphis. Ridgecrest Apartments wasn't just a neighborhood, it was a crucible where survival often outweighed ambition. For many, it was a place where cycles of poverty swallowed dreams whole, trapping generations in the same struggle. But Gotti, even as a teenager, was wired differently. He had the same environment, the same obstacles, but he saw opportunities hidden in the cracks, where others only saw walls. At 14, while other kids were still figuring themselves out, he was already pressing up mixtapes and moving them like product. He didn't wait for a label to notice him. He created his own lane. Instead of chasing fame blindly, he learned how to move music through his own distribution system. Record stores, barbershops, corner spots, DJs. These became his network, his street-level marketing team before he even had a budget. Before he had a nationwide buzz, he already had a system in place to get his music directly to the people. It was a grassroots hustle that taught him the value of ownership and independence before he even knew what those words meant. This foundation separated him from thousands of aspiring rappers. While others depended on luck or cosigns, Gotti had a delivery machine. He built the pipeline before the demand came, and when the buzz finally grew, he was not just prepared, he was unstoppable. Crossing the threshold. As Gotti's mixtapes circulated across Memphis, his name began echoing beyond the city limits. The block respected him, but entering the professional music industry was a new battlefield entirely, one where survival wasn't about who rapped the hardest, but who understood the business. Labels, contracts, and negotiations weren't about talent. They were about leverage, timing, and positioning. Gotti quickly realized that loud moves invited problems, so he mastered the art of moving in silence. While others bragged about deals before they were done, Gotti said nothing until the ink was dry. When he negotiated his live from the kitchen deal, fans didn't see the meetings, the back and forth, or the strategy. They just saw the results. A Memphis hustler securing a national stage. In an era where many artists chased clout by broadcasting every step, Gotti played the opposite game. He revealed only outcomes, never intentions. That silence wasn't weakness, it was power.
My perception of success is seeing something grow. You know what I mean? So like, when I see me from one project to the next project, okay, say I'm in London right now, right? I went out here on the last project. To me, that's success, no matter what the numbers end up being. To me, long as you move a step forward every time, you're moving in the right direction. When I sign an artist and take them from 0 to a top 10 record or, farther, like every time I'm just trying to go farther than I went the last time. Because I'm going to get money regardless. That ain't no issue. I'm just a hustle. Like, I'm going to figure out a way to get money out shit you shouldn't get money out for. You know what I'm saying?
A shield that kept distractions and predators away. He understood that in a room full of sharks, the one who speaks the least often controls the most. By the time people realized what Gotti was building, the foundation was already solid. His rise wasn't based on hype, it was built on execution and patience. That discipline made him one of the rare street rappers who could step into the boardroom and still command respect without losing momentum. Trials and allies. Breaking into the music business is one thing, surviving it is another. For every hitmaker that rises, dozens fall victim to bad contracts, broken trust, and fading relevance. Gotti saw this firsthand and made a decision. He wouldn't just be an artist, he would be a builder. In 2012, he launched collective music group CMG. At first, the industry didn't take it seriously, but Gotti wasn't chasing hype. He was building strategically. He didn't sign just anyone with a hot single. He signed artists who reflected the same values that guided his own journey. Hustlers with vision. Artists who wanted longevity, not just flashes of fame. That's why names like Moneybagg Yo, ESTG, 42 Dugg, Mozzie, and GloRilla weren't accidents. They were calculated moves. Each one fit into the CMG DNA, creating a roster that represented consistency, resilience, and ambition. Together, they became more than artists. They became a movement.
Shit where, artists come in and just sign a paper and go in the studio and rap. It's like a lot of hustlers coming to the table and partnering together and putting their vision on the table, and we all building this thing together. You talking Moneybagg Yo, you talking 42 Dugg, ESTG, Block Boy JB,
Black Youngster, yeah, Big Boogie. You know, at CMG, we got branches, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the unique thing about us. When I say we got branches, you got Moneybagg Yo, you know what I'm saying, which is his own branch. We have partnership with my guy Head at Enders, and they got their thing with Big 30. All that shit a branch. We all a family, you know what I'm saying? And you got Black Youngster, which is Heavy Count. You know, that's a branch. That's how you get Migo in the picture. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we the brand that break brands, you know what I'm saying? We partners with everybody, and we hustle together. It's like one big family or one big tree. It's like I'm a plug, you know what I mean? And that's how I look at it, and I want to make sure I'm with the right partners.
And Gotti understood something even deeper. What looked like rivalry could become opportunity. Instead of letting competition drain energy, he pulled rivals into his orbit, turning potential enemies into partners. Where others saw beef, he saw business. That shift in mindset not only reduced conflict, but multiplied resources, profits, and influence. CMG wasn't just a label, it was an ecosystem, and Gotti had positioned himself at the center of it. Transformation. By the late 2000s and 10s, Yo Gotti had transformed into more than a Memphis rapper. He was a mogul in motion. His music still hit hard, but each release came with sharper visuals, more powerful features, and smarter rollouts. Every album felt like a reinvention, a new chapter that elevated him further than before. He refused to repeat himself. Each cycle raised the bar. From I Am to The Art of Hustle to Untrapped, Gotti's music was a steady climb. But behind the scenes, something more powerful was happening. Gotti was diversifying. He realized music was just a platform, a stepping stone to something larger. He started stacking real estate, buying properties not just for lifestyle, but for long-term wealth. He moved into sports ownership, becoming part owner of Major League Soccer's DC United. He sat in business rooms that most rappers never got access to, leveraging his name and reputation as capital. Rap had given him visibility, but he understood that visibility alone wasn't security. Ownership was. Music kept him relevant in the culture, but real estate, investments, and equity kept him financially untouchable. This wasn't just about rapping anymore. It was about redefining what a rapper could be. The return with the elixir. Most artists cling to the spotlight until the world pushes them aside. Yo Gotti took the opposite route. He stepped back while he was still shining. By pivoting from artist to executive at the height of his powers, he ensured his influence would last longer than any single hit song. He moved from the stage to the boardroom without losing respect. In fact, he gained more. Artists under his wing looked to him not just as a boss, but as proof that a rapper could own their destiny instead of being owned by the industry. And he never abandoned Memphis. From Ridgecrest Apartments to multi-million-dollar business meetings, Gotti carried the city with him. He returned not just as a successful rapper, but as a blueprint, a living example of how discipline, strategy, and patience could turn a hustler into a king. He gave back, invested in the city, and opened doors for the next generation of talent. His empire wasn't built to shine for a moment. It was designed to last. The journey showed that greatness isn't defined by where you start. It's defined by what you build, how you adapt, and who you bring with you when you win. Yo Gotti's story proves one thing. A hustler with vision can become a king with an empire. In the Mansa Musa mode, the real flex isn't the money you make, it's the legacy you leave. If this story inspired you, hit like, share this video with someone chasing their dream, and subscribe to Mansa Musa mode for more blueprints from hip-hop legends who turned grind into greatness. And while you're at it, make sure to subscribe to our second channel, Mansa Musa Mindset, where we break down the strategies, books, and mindset shifts that fuel success beyond music. Don't forget to follow us on TikTok and Instagram for even more behind-the-scenes game, because at the end of the day, every empire starts with a hustle, but it only lasts if you build it the right way.